welcome back to another episode of Soulful Sundays with Madge. If you are new to this channel, my name is Madge. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel. And while on this journey with me, we will discuss obstacles that come up at different points in time in our life and how our perspective can be a great tool in helping us to overcome some of these life challenges. As always, if you like what you receive, feel free to hit the like button. Leave a comment below, ring the bell to subscribe. This way when I upload, you will receive notification. And always know you can email me at askmadge18@gmail.com with questions that you may have. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this week's topic, which is adaptability. But I went ahead and I looked up the definition of adaptability. And it reads, the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions, the capacity to be modified for new use or purpose. The second one really stood out, the capacity to be modified for new use or purpose. That really resonated strongly with me because 2019, apologize once again for my throat, but 2019 has truly been a significant year for me in the sense of that's when I really started to come into terms with my spirituality and really focusing on changing my mindset. Prior to 2019, I was kind of just going with the flow. I was learning. I knew that I wanted different for myself. I just was not sure how to go about it. I really wasn't sure what I was experimenting with the spirituality side of things, with, meditations or daily practices or just self-developmental tools. I was just kind of doing. But I think in 2019, it kind of all started to click with me. And I knew that I had got to a point where I was not going to go back to who I was, but becoming all that I was looking to be and will continue to be, that was a change. And I don't know about you, but who really likes change? I mean, we all say we want change, new me, new year, new me, or whatever the sayings are. We all say, right, like change is good, we should welcome change. But what I find a lot of times is when change comes, it always comes unexpectedly. Sometimes it can come in the form of disruption. It feels like it's shaking your life up. It feels like, what is going on, right? So I say all this to say in 2019, I really started to become more intentional with being like, okay, I'm going full-fledged into my spirituality, my daily practices. I am going to make every day an intentional day of being better. How can I become better? How can I be more aware, more conscious, more in tune in my life and what I'm doing daily and why I'm doing? So you have to adapt. And adapting to a new mindset, a new you is scary. And what I can tell you is that it has scared me a lot because I can be honest with you and say that a lot of days I am meeting a new person. I am trying new thoughts not trying new thoughts, but having new thoughts, looking at life totally different. So a lot of times it makes me feel very uncomfortable because I'm not sure if I'm going to be rejected by people that I love because they don't understand me. And to be perfectly honest, I'm learning to understand myself. So I say all this just to say that adaptability is so important, and I'm coming to realize in 2020 how important it is because with me becoming so intentional and desiring different experiences and different outcomes, what I've come to realize is that it's not so much that life is just constantly changing and I have to just all of a sudden adjust and adapt. It's that I'm becoming more mindful of what it is that I'm working towards and what it is that I'm looking to do. So I actually notice a lot more when things around me are not really working out the way I hoped that they would or the way that I was looking for them to happen in my life. And sometimes if we don't look at changes the right way, it can make us believe that we are not meant to have what it is that we're looking to have, or we're not meant to have the experiences in life that we're believing that we can have. And so I'm going to get personal with you, because if I'm not sharing my truths, I'm not able to help someone. So I want to kind of share with you a little bit of what happened to me and why I do feel it is so important to be adaptable, to be able to adjust yourself, and to definitely be able to have a capacity to be modified for new use and or purposes. So like maybe the fall of 2019, I've been working really hard on a move. I have not moved in probably like 5 years, but it's been a move that has been in the making probably 5 years ago. It just wasn't the right time to go because I needed to go through a healing process in my life. So I knew it wouldn't be right to move. But in the back of my mind, I knew when my daughter was going to start high school, we were going to prepare ourselves for a move, for a fresh start. So I've been literally working for 5 years for the day to move. So, here we are, early January, February, we kick it off, and it's the process of, okay, let's find, the Catholic high school you're going to go to. We're getting that under control, and we're getting ready to move. I found what I believed was my perfect house. I really believed that I had revelation. I had things revealed to me to believe that the house that I had found was my house. Well, the deal fell apart. It didn't happen. And I was crushed. I was truly crushed. I couldn't understand how something like this could happen to me, literally probably like 40 days before my lease was up. Like, how could this happen? And I don't know about you, but when there's a big shift in life and you literally are putting everything on the line for one thing, you're like putting everything on the line, and it doesn't work out. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you've ever had everything betted. I don't even know if I'm saying the right word, but everything that you're looking for to manifest, to happen, is all on this one thing, right? And it doesn't work out. And I don't know if that's ever happened, but it's crushing. It's so crushing. And on top of that, people are looking to you to have the answer, not only for your life, but for their life. They're counting on you. So how do you adapt? How do you adjust when you believe that when you were placing everything in your life to happen on this one desire, and you were believing that you were moving in the right direction, and then it falls apart? What do you do? So here I was faced with that very same feeling, like depleted, lost, embarrassed. What am I going to tell people? Has that ever happened to you? You're believing something's going to happen. You're proud. You're excited. Then you have to tell people it didn't work out. You're embarrassed, right? Well, the first thing that I did was I said I was going to pick my head up. I wasn't going to be embarrassed. It happens. I have to adjust. I have to adapt some way. I have to believe that it happened for my greater good, that there was a reason for it to happen. Even if I don't quite understand why or how I had the revelation that this was for me and it just didn't work out. How did it fall apart a week before I was supposed to be moving, closing? How does this happen? Well, pick your head up, first thing. Because what I find is that if we'll take time to mourn. Trust me, I mourned, I cried, didn't understand it. But what I come to find in life is that we have to adjust and adapt for a very important reason. Because if we try to hold on to what was, we will miss an opportunity to see what is. Because we're clinging so tight on what was supposed to happen. How could this happen? We're looking to blame people. But we have to forgive. We have to accept. Now, I'm not saying don't evaluate the situation. Don't look for what was it in me, what was it in this for me to learn. But we don't want to hold so tightly onto what was and miss the opportunity to see what is coming. So we have to find a way to clear out the turbulence and have a clear mind. So I was on a tight time clock, and it just seemed like everything, found another place, just didn't work out. So I'm like, gosh, God, I have to believe that this is all happening for a reason, and I don't understand why. Now, I'm literally 15 days before my lease is up, and what my kids don't realize, or what no one realizes, I'm scared out my mind, because I'm like, are we going to be living out my car? No, I'm joking. I'm not going to let it get to that point. We'll find somewhere to go. But in all actuality, here I am. I'm believing in this desire. I'm believing that I'm moving for a good reason. I'm moving to benefit and grow my life and my children's life and my daughter at the forefront of this move. So the desire, the dream I have is bigger than just myself. Isn't that what we learned? That, we want to have a dream, but it also needs to benefit more than just ourselves. So I'm questioning, and I'm thinking, like, God, how does this happen? What is going on? I have 15 days and I have to go, and I still don't have an address. But I had to adjust, and I had to accept, and I had to continue to believe that it was going to happen. My address was going to happen. I have an address. It just has not been revealed to me. So what could I control in a situation where things are coming at me and I'm trying to figure out how to adapt, how to adjust? What can you control? The one thing I could control was my mind. I could control my thoughts. I could control my belief system. So what I did was I decided that I was going to continue to move forward. As once stated, chance favors those in motion. So I had to keep moving forward. But what I also had to realize is that there was a strong possibility that it would not work out exactly the way I had imagined it. So I had to come to terms with that. And I had to say, even if it does not work out the way that I thought that it was going to work out, and even if it's not meant for me to move, and my address that I'm believing is my address that hasn't been revealed to me happens to be the address that I currently reside in, then I will accept that, because I ask you, God, to order my steps, and I am believing in you, and I'm believing that you know the end, and I have to trust that you know what's best for me. So I decided, though, to not move, to hold on to what was, and to say that maybe I'm not supposed to adjust and adapt to what's going on and continue to find a way to believe that I am supposed to move forward. I was just believing that I didn't want to stand still, because to stand still and to surrender to it just not working out was a chance that I was not willing to take. If it didn't work out, I was going to know that it wasn't supposed to work out. But I believed strongly in my heart that if I was to just stop moving, stop taking actions to support my move, that I would be stopping because I believed that God didn't give me the desire and didn't say that that this was okay. Because once again, I told you, when the first deal fell apart, I had revelation that I was supposed to move, that this was supposed to happen. So I did. I went furniture shopping. And I bought furniture that I loved. I continued to move forward. I continued to get boxes. I continued to pack. I continued to reach out to people to line everything up. I continued moving forward. I realized that things were happening to me, but I could not allow the changes that are ever flowing, ever going, to disrupt what I needed to do. I could not allow the changes to disrupt my mindset. I realized I had to adjust. I had to adjust to the fact that I didn't have an address, but I didn't have to stop moving forward with my plans. I just had to keep going and allow my address, or allow me to catch up to my address, but I had to keep going. And so I say all this to say that today I got the keys to my house. In the final hour, my lease was up the end of last month, and it was very scary. I had no idea what me and my family were gonna do, but I just kept talking to God. I kept talking to my landlord, and we worked it out. You know, she's been really sweet to me, and you know, it worked out, is what I'm saying. Even though things weren't working out, things were working out. And that is what I had to lean on. Through all the changes, I had to say, what is good? What is true? What is beautiful? And that's the story that I had to tell myself. And would you believe that the very first house that broke my heart, in the end, I was still able to get a house. This house matches perfectly the color scheme of the furniture that me and my daughter picked out. Literally, we picked out furniture for 2 family spaces, for a finished basement, for a main living room. But I say all this to say I had no idea I was gonna have this. I had no idea that I was gonna have space to shoot my videos for Soulful Sundays with Madge. I had no idea that I was gonna have a way to be able to have a dedicated workspace that was out of my bedroom. But I was just believing that that is what I wanted for myself, and I continued to control what I was able to control, and that was my mind, and that was movement, continuing to move forward, continuing to say, whatever happens, I am gonna believe that it's happening for my greater good, that it's happening for a reason, even beyond that. Even if I can't understand it, it's working out exactly the way it's supposed to work out, but I have to just adjust, and I have to adapt, because the world is always changing. It's always changing, it's ever flowing, it's ever going. And if we allow the changing of this world, external factors, to dictate what is in our hearts and what it is that we're believing in, my belief is that it will stop us every time. And before you know it, we'll look around and we will say, what happened? Why didn't I move forward? Why am I in this place? Not living the life that I desire, no longer having dreams, no longer pushing myself to accomplish what it was that I was believing that I could accomplish. And a lot of times it's because change happens. And when change happens, we can believe that the change is placed in our lives to prevent us. But what I find is a lot of times the change can happen to teach us, to show us that we are more capable than what we think, to adjust and to adapt and to continue to grow and continue to push through. So I thank you so much for tuning in this week with me. And I just want to say, don't be afraid of change. It happens. Life changes every day. And I find it so beautiful, the part of the definition of adaptability that reads, to have the capacity to be modified for new use and purpose. So open yourself up to be used for something new, to be able to have a change take place in your life for your greater good. And don't hold on so tightly to what once was, and embrace what is and what is going to be. So I'm going to end us with a quote by the beautiful Dolly Parton, and it reads, "We cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust ourselves." So I thank you, and I want you to have a blessed week. Bye.